Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. I wanted to show y'all how I fix hamburger to use later and really for the convenience of it. Now I've got 4 pounds of ground chuck, which is 80% lean and 20% fat. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Now some of y'all might do this too. I'm just going to dump it out. And what I'm going to do is make some hamburger patties. So I'm going to cut this in try to cut it in about 5 equal sections. That looks about right. And now I'm going to cut it up and down this way in 4 sections. So that'll give me 20 little patties that are roughly 3 ounces each. So we want to do right down the middle. And I've got it on some saran wrap here. And then cut those in half. Okay, so now I've got 20 different little sections of ground chuck, and I can use those any which way I want to. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cook it all today. So I'm going to make some hamburger patties, and what I don't have room for in the 2 skillets that I've got out over here, I'll just cook it just flat, because that way you can have little small hamburgers, which is what we have on French bread. If I don't have any homemade hamburger buns, I just make the hamburger about like that and put it in French bread. So that's what we're going to do today. Just make it in, not in a round patty, but more of an oblong patty. And with this, you can also make some kind of hamburger with gravy. Make sort of a, well, you could actually make hamburger with peppers and onions, or with mushrooms, and add a little gravy to it, and that kind of thing. So they're about really less than a ½ inch thick, and just making them sort of oblong. Now if you've got hamburger buns and you want to make them round, you could do that. But each one of these is going to be just a little over 3 ounces. I think that's about right if I've done my math right. Yeah, so I go ahead and cook the hamburger that way. When you get ready for a meal, the meat's already done. All you have to do is take it out of the freezer and add it to whatever dish you want to add it to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make up a whole bunch of these, and let me use a paper towel to cut my camera off, and we'll be back when we start cooking them. Okay, I got all of the hamburger divided out, got my hands all clean, and I'm starting them all out on high because I want them to get good and brown. I don't want liquid to form in the skillet. So we made them all in the oval shape, because you actually can get more in the pan when they're oval shaped. So I'll be able to use this for chili, spaghetti, a casserole, or I can also use it with gravy and put peppers and onions with it, and mushrooms, whatever I want. But I'm going to go ahead and fry these out till they're good and brown, and then we're going to let them get cool, and we're going to freeze them. Alright, so we'll be back. Okay, all my little hamburgers are done now, so I'm going to take them up and I'm going to put them on this wire rack on this pan right here. This cookie sheet or a jelly roll pan. And I'm going to actually stick them in the freezer. I'm going to keep out 2 for our lunch today, and the rest of them will be frozen. So I put them on this little rack so any grease will drip down into the pan. Alright, let me take these up and we'll be right back. Alright, there are the small little hamburgers. There's 20 of them. And I'll keep 2 of them out, and the rest of them we're going to freeze. Okay, so now why do I do this? I can tell you why. I'll turn the camera down and let you see my stove. There's just grease everywhere. I've just got one splatter screen, and I was using 4 skillets. So I've got grease everywhere here, all back behind, even over here in front. But think about it this way. I only have to clean the grease up one time. So whether it's a little bit or a whole bunch, it still takes the same effort to clean it up, right? So I don't have to fry out hamburger anymore for a while. That's the way I look at it. All right, we will see y'all next time. I'm going to go ahead and fix our lunch. Well, maybe I'll just show you what we're having for lunch. Let me clean up my mess and we'll be back. All right, here's the little hamburgers that I made earlier, and this is just a couple of sort of thick slices of French bread, and those little hamburgers fit perfectly on there. There's mine. Got some baby lettuce and just slices of tomato on top with a little salt. And this is soup that I made a couple of days ago. I actually cooked the large lima beans on Monday, and we had that with a meal. And then Tuesday I added some collard greens, and I also added green and red bell pepper and onion, and of course just some salt. And the collards, of course, were already cooked. I had frozen those, so it makes us a good vegan hearty soup. There's Mr. Bucky's, and of course I've got our iced tea. And here's the thrill of it all. I actually made the whipped cream in my KitchenAid mixer. It's the first thing I made in there, and it turned out perfect. In fact, I had put the bowl and the little whisk type attachment in the freezer just to get them cold. And because, you know, when you're making it with a regular mixer, that's what you're supposed to do. And then I came back maybe 10 minutes later and went ahead and got it situated, turned it on, and I promise you 30 seconds later I had whipped cream. So needless to say, I'm pretty thrilled with that new KitchenAid. I can't wait to see all the other things that it will do. All right, so there's the meal, and there's the convenience to be able to have a little hamburger or hamburger steak, you know, with gravy and or with mushrooms and bell peppers and onions or whatever, or crumble it up for spaghetti, whatever. It's just real convenient. And I did get my stove all cleaned up, and I wanted to show you the grease. This is the grease that came out of them. Now I had slightly greased each pan with a little bit of Crisco, and what I do is put that in this grease that's left over in a little bowl, and I put it in the refrigerator and let it get real hard, and then I throw it in the garbage. Because if you dump it in the garbage like that, it'll just run all over everything. Anyway, let me just show you. This is a mincemeat pie, and that's just the mincemeat. Well, let me show you on this one. Let me turn on the light. There. This is just the mincemeat you buy in the store, and of course I made the crust. That's a butter crust. But I made it so that I could put a lot of whipped cream on it. See there? Yeah. Okay, so I already tasted it a little bit. It's very, very good. All right, so we're ready to eat our lunch, and this is the story of making 20 hamburgers at one time. I did get my stove all cleaned up. There's the soup I made the other day, and it's all working out. All right, we will see y'all next time.